Hi there, Leslie Sansone Williams here, coming to you today from Paralegal Coffee Talk on Facebook, LeslieSansoneWilliams.com, my website, and Legal Break-In, the book I've written for you, which is available on Amazon, and I put the link below just so you can check out the table of contents on Amazon to see if this is something that would interest you. So today's topic is going to be about, when the life's plan doesn't seem to go our way and how we handle that, the challenges and changes, and what can creep into our minds as we go through all of that. I've been down that road. I still go down that road. We're human. We do this. And how to combat some of that. I've had comments on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, is Leslie Williams 126. If you're not watching this on YouTube, there are many videos over there for you to see regarding the paralegal career, so take a look at those. One of many comments will say or talk about fear or doubt, and I suffered from the same thing, and I still suffer from that. That's a human condition that will arise regularly. So when we think we're alone, and we're not, because every human deals with this on a day in, day out basis. So feel good about that. If that's what you're suffering from, then there are ways to rise above it. And there are many, many people who've risen above it to move forward and get unstuck, because those ideas that flow around our brains nonstop, we can stop that type of the battlefield of the mind type of day in, day out thing. And I suffer from that as well. The past, the growing up period, instilled in me that if I failed at something, it was not that I was learning something, it was like a big thing that I failed at something, and it was a shame. A shame to me and a shame to the family. And I am so against that type of thought. I'm always for sticking with something, but I'm for exploration. Exploration is really important. You need to investigate to understand if something is right for you or not. You have to do all that education of yourself first. And then there comes a point where you jump. There will never be that jumping point that it's like, yes, I'm so sure this is it. Because you've got to even go deeper, sometimes go into a path, go down that path to find out if it is for you or not. And what happens if it's not? Bye-bye. Just wave goodbye and you start down another path. But the advice my father gave me a long time ago was have a job before you quit that one, unless it's so horrendous and there's abuse and it's just bad. Then you don't have a choice. Or if they let you go, they downsize you, they fire you, whatever it is. But it's important to jump off the cliff and start moving forward into it, because you won't know the reality of it until you do that. So let's talk about the reality of the walk, of the life. None of it is easy. It's not what we would call a cakewalk, something that would be super simple. Nothing worth having is easy. Nothing worth achieving is easy. What builds your character are surpassing the obstacles and challenges that are placed before you. So when I talk in other videos about fear hurdles, it's like everything's going according to plan, and then boom, there's the hurdle, there's the boulder, there's the pain. And what are you going to do about it? How are you going to solve it? When I was first married, I was not used to solving a lot of problems, especially the problems I hadn't dealt with before, new ones, new challenges. And my husband, who had been in the world a little bit longer than me, he's 8 years older, he's a retired engineer, and so his whole work life was solving problems. And he would say to me, "What's the solution to this? What can we do to solve it?" That was probably something he was asked in school, and maybe his parents asked him that. But I wasn't used to that dynamic in my family. So there was kind of, what would hit first would be a lot of emotion instead of logically solving it. So those roadblocks are a chance to build your character and work your brain to find a solution. You will use that type of thinking time and time again, no matter what career you choose. No matter what career it is. Of course, it's valuable in the paralegal field because your attorney will be asking you to solve problems. You know, I was asked to learn a software program in 2 to 3 days because an important phone call was taking place, and I was needed in that phone call because the attorney wasn't going to learn the software. She wanted me to handle the phone call with another attorney and a client. Now, I didn't focus on that phone call. I focused on learning the software. And I learned it enough to be able to talk about it intelligently. So it was a roadblock for me, a challenge. I was nervous. My job didn't depend on it, but I didn't want to lose face in the law firm either. So before, my way of being, and maybe you can relate to this, I would like run from stuff and just not deal with it, instead of hitting it head on and learning from it and building my character. And that's what these challenges and obstacles are for in our lives. Instead, what I would do is I would throw a pity party. What do you think about that? You know, I would think, oh, I'm never going to do this. A lot of negative self-talk. And I had to stop that. I had to build myself up and understand that God was on my side, nobody else. Not one other person to support me. So there was nobody believing in me, not one person. So it was God on my side, and I could do anything then if He was with me. Now, it can, even after you land a job in whatever field you're looking at, it could be the paralegal field, it could be something else. You have to breathe along the way because those challenges will come up. When I would get stressed out in my first paralegal job, being able to, because as I told you in other videos, I had to buy the groceries, like snacks. I had to buy the office supplies. Getting out of the office environment was the breather for me. Or I'd go to lunch, and I would take my lunch and I would go off by myself. I would go to the bookstore. I'd go to a deli. I'd do anything for, even if it took 15 minutes to get there, 15 back, I had 15 minutes to eat. I would do that because it changed my environment and I could breathe, and I would calm myself down because, yes, I felt inadequate for the first 2 or 3 months. I felt like I would never learn some of this stuff, but I did. So when I say in a post I put on my Facebook page with a video, align yourself with people who've already been down this road, because they'll tell you what the truth is. They're not going to jive talk you. They're not going to jive you. They're going to tell you what the truth is. I will, about the paralegal field. As I said just a little while ago, remember who is on your side. The Lord is always on your side. Even if everybody else neglects and abandons you, you can count on Him. He never leaves, He never moves. So, you've heard about changing your thinking from stinking thinking. We tend to do negative self-talk, downer talk, and we get into kind of a loop, like the hamster wheel loop. And you've got to snap out of that. You may be driving down the road. This is what I find myself doing. I'm driving down the road, even if a great uplifting song is on, and those bad negative thoughts will come in, like, you'll never do this, you can't do that, you know, it's ridiculous. When you have accomplished even a couple things, it shows you something. It shows you that you can do certain things that you never thought you could. So, number 3 is gratitude. Be thankful for the people in your life that support you and love you, no matter what. that if you have one or two friends who support you and love you no matter what, count that a huge blessing. Huge blessing. Don't take it for granted that they sit there and listen to you, and make sure that you're not just overwhelming them with negativity, that you can't do something. You've got to uplift them too. They don't want to listen to negative self-talk or negative talk to them all the time either about your career path and nothing's working out. That gets old. So stop with that downer talk and start looking at the glass is half full instead of half empty. Now, will you pushing through these challenges, these obstacles, will it be worth it? Will that be worth it? Well, what does it do for you? I will tell you personally, it builds your character, it builds your strength. And it also, whether you know it or not, it inspires others. Even if people around you are naysayers, they are saying, oh, I don't know, that may be too hard for you. I don't know. Really, what that comment is about is it's too hard for them in their minds. And they reflect that back on you. When I changed from one legal job to another, and I gave myself quite a hefty raise by doing that. That was purposeful on my part. I sought to do that to help our family with income. And I did that, and I talked to my mother on the phone. She was very negative about it. Well, I'm not going to tell your father, because they were coming from the generation of you stay where you work for 30 years. But in my experience was showing me that sometimes when you did that, you wouldn't get a raise. You wouldn't get a bonus. Not that I think I should get a bonus. That's like a gift. But the raise, I thought, I did good work. I should get some raise, and it was a pitiful raise. I was grateful for extra money, but it didn't amount to much in my paycheck. And I needed more money for my family. And so I applied for another job and got it. Yet the negativity I received from my mom was, and she didn't mean that to be that way. It was just the culture she was coming from. And her older sister talked to her, and she said I had changed jobs. And when she told my aunt that I got this big raise, and I had told my aunt about it, she said, my aunt chastised her. Like, why are you being so negative about it? She gave herself a big raise. So my aunt was my character builder for me as well, and my motivator, my one of my biggest supporters ever in my life, which I am so grateful for. My grandmother, my mother's mother, was like this as well. My mother had more problems towards that, but I think that's because I'm her child and she felt fear, as a mother does. So you could possibly have that kind of dynamic happening right now. Don't forget that you inspire others to achieve, even if at first they're going, I don't know if that'll work out. You have to ignore that negativity. You really do, in order to push forward. That builds your character like nothing will stop you. You're superwoman or superman. You got to keep pushing forward in spite of the negativity. The others that you will inspire may be silently watching you too. I've had that happen. I've had people say, I wish I could do what you've done. Now that's their own negativity towards themselves. That they put a barrier in front of themselves. It's not that everybody should be a paralegal, or everybody should be a writer, or everybody should own a department store, or everybody should, it's, you have to follow your path. And when you do that, and when you overcome those obstacles, look at the athletes that do that. In spite of injury, they come back, they work hard in rehab, and they come back and they achieve. It's because they don't give up. They just keep getting back up. And that's what I want for you today. You have people watching you that will be so inspired by what you do. They will be so inspired. In spite of having severe asthma, I had to continue moving forward. I had a chronic inflammation of my gut, And nobody knew. From the age of 14 on, nobody knew what it was. People thought it was psychosomatic, that I caused it myself. That's what my psych teacher told me in high school. You think it's psychosomatic? It was so damaging for him to say that. I liked him as a teacher. But people don't know what they're talking about sometimes. And you have to ignore it and keep pushing forward. In spite of a death in the family, I had to keep working. In spite of chronic illness, which I solved, the Lord actually showed me what the problem was and helped me through that. But it turned out I was severely allergic to wheat, and I've been gluten-free since 2001. And that was causing the gut pain. But no doctor could figure that out. People will say, they'll think you're Looney Tunes because you're going down a certain path. It could be concerning your health. It could be concerning your job. Stop listening. Listen to the people who've been down that path already, whatever it may be. And then the people in your life who will say, yeah, you might be saying, oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm able to do that. And they'll say, yeah, that's probably true. These are the yes people. They don't help you. They don't challenge you. They just don't want to ruffle your feathers. That's like celebrities who have people around them that never tell them the truth. You know, they just say, oh, that looks awesome on you, and it looks like heck. Or, yes, that you sang that so beautifully, and it was terrible. You know, and there's one thing about being mean, but sometimes people just don't know how to be truthful. And that does not help you as you go down this path or into your journey. So that's it for today. I hope this has helped in some small way. It's the fear and doubt are something I deal with every single day. And I have to push it away and keep pushing forward in order to achieve what I believe is my life journey. So have a great day. I know this was a longer video, but I hope you got something out of it. Comment below. Suggest other videos to me. I adore your comments. I am right on YouTube all the time and on Facebook every day, all day long. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, because then you'll be notified about new videos that I post, and you won't have to go hunting or forget about it, because every video I think will be helpful that I post up here now. And check some of the other videos out, even if you just look at 2 a day and digest them, take notes, because I put a lot of nuggets in those videos that will help you as you move forward. And the last thing today is that I'm working on the class right now. I've overcome a hurdle that I was thinking about, and I am going to start forming. The class is already formed. I'm going to start recording videos for upload in our private group, secret group on Facebook for people who come into the course. Then we will just have a question and answer time so we can discuss privately some of the issues that come up, and we'll have Q&A days in there. So have a great day. Hang in there. Keep moving forward. Don't listen to the naysayers. And that's it. And I will talk to you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.